Make it now or make it later? It's a huge question. I mean, think about it. Why can you grab a Coke right now, but a custom PC takes weeks to arrive? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on the secrets of how stuff actually gets made.
And this is the core dilemma, right? Instant gratification or a custom creation. Every single company out there, from your local coffee shop to a giant car manufacturer, has to answer this. Are they going to make something and hope you buy it? Or are they going to wait for you to tell them what you want? It's a choice that changes literally everything about their business.
So what it really boils down to is this constant balancing act. It's like a giant seesaw. On one end, you've got supply. That's all the stuff a company can possibly make. And on the other end, you have demand. That's all of us, the customers, and what we want to buy. The whole game is to keep that seesaw perfectly level. Because if it tips too far one way, you've got warehouses full of stuff nobody wants. And if it tips the other way, you've got empty shelves and frustrated customers. It's a tough balance to strike.
All right, so how do they solve this production puzzle? I mean, how do they decide what to make and when? It's definitely not a coin toss, that's for sure. This is a super high-stakes game, and the answer depends on everything from their market to who their customers are to what they can even physically build.
And to really get a grip on their choices, we got to talk about the supply chain. You've probably heard that term before, right? It's just the entire journey a product takes from, a pile of raw materials all the way into your hands. And the way a company manages that journey, well, that's where the strategy comes in.
Okay, so when a company is figuring out its strategy, they're really competing on 4 different fronts. Think of it like this: cost, time, flexibility, and quality. This is their battlefield. They can't be the best at everything, so they have to pick their lane. Are they going to be the cheapest, the fastest, the one that lets you customize everything, or the one with the absolute best quality? The choice they make here pretty much dictates everything else.
All right, let's dive into the first big strategy. We'll call this one the Get It Now approach, or officially, Make to Stock. This is for all of us, and let's be honest, that's most of us who want what we want and we want it right now.
So what is make to stock? Well, the name kind of gives it away, doesn't it? Companies basically try to predict the future. They use what's called demand forecasting, looking at past sales, market trends, all that stuff, to guess what you're going to buy. Then they go ahead and produce a ton of it and stick it in a warehouse or on a store shelf, just waiting for you to come along. And the whole process here is super proactive. Step 1, they make an educated guess about what you're going to want. Step 2, based on that guess, they plan everything and buy all the materials. Step 3, they build a massive inventory, a big stockpile of the finished product. And finally, step 4, you place your order and boom, they just grab it off the shelf and send it your way. It is all about being ready before you are.
Now, this is a really high-stakes gamble. Let's look at the pros and cons. The upside is awesome, right? For us, we get our stuff instantly. For the company, they can make things in huge, efficient batches, which saves them money. But the downside? Oh man, the downside is huge. If their forecast is wrong, if they guess what we want incorrectly, they are literally stuck with a mountain of product nobody's buying. That's a massive financial hit.
And the perfect real-world example, Coca-Cola. I mean, think about it. They don't wait for you to say, hey, I'd like a Coke. No way. They crank out millions and millions of cans because they know the demand is there. They make sure a cold one is always right there when you want it. They are competing on speed and cost, and they're winning.
Okay, so that's one way of doing things. But what if we flip this whole idea on its head? What if the goal isn't speed at all? What if it's all about getting something that's perfectly, uniquely yours? Well, that brings us to strategy number 2, make to order.
With make to order, you, the customer, are the starting gun. Seriously, the factory is basically silent until your confirmed order comes through. Then, and only then, do the wheels start turning. They start buying materials, they start building, everything happens after you've paid.
You can already see how different this is, right? Step 1 isn't a forecast. Step 1 is your order. Everything else, the planning, the making, the assembling, it all happens after you've clicked confirm. It's a totally reactive model, driven completely by actual demand, not a guess.
So what are the trade-offs here? Well, for the company, the pros are amazing. There's basically zero risk of being stuck with inventory and way less waste. And for you, you get something built exactly the way you want it, high customization. The big con? You gotta wait. It takes a lot longer, and yeah, it usually costs more. You're trading speed for a perfect fit. And the ultimate example of this has to be Boeing. Can you even imagine them just building a bunch of 787 Dreamliners and hoping an airline wanders by to buy one? Of course not. Each plan is this massive, multi-million-dollar, super customized project that only starts after an airline signs on the dotted line. They are competing on insane quality and flexibility, not on speed.
So we've got these two extremes, right? You've got fast but risky on one side and custom but slow on the other. So is there something in the middle? A best of both worlds approach? You bet there is. And it's called assemble to order.
The logic here is actually really clever. The idea is to pre-produce all the standard parts, the building blocks if you will, and have them ready to go. But you don't actually put them together until a customer places an order and tells you exactly how they want them assembled.
So here's how it works. First, they do some forecasting, but just for the components, things like processors, memory, hard drives. They stock up on those. Then, you come along and place your order, picking the exact combination you want. Finally, their team grabs those pre-made parts, snaps them together into your unique product, and ships it out. It's a two-stage dance.
And this hybrid approach is a pretty slick balancing act. For us, it's way faster than making something from scratch, but we still get customization options. For them, they don't have a warehouse full of finished products nobody wants. The con, though, is that the risk just moves. Now, instead of forecasting the final product, they have to perfectly forecast all the parts. And if they run out of that one super popular graphics card, the entire assembly line can grind to a halt.
And the company that absolutely mastered this? Dell. They basically pioneered this model in the PC world. While all their competitors were building standard computers and stacking them in warehouses, Dell was letting you go online, customize your PC from a menu of pre-made parts, and then they'd build it just for you. It was a total game changer, giving them a huge edge.
Okay, so we've looked at 3 totally different strategies for getting stuff made. Make to stock, make to order, and assemble to order. So how does a company pick one? What's the right choice? Well, it all boils down to one thing and one thing only: you, the customer. And when you lay them all out side by side like this, it all just clicks into place, doesn't it? Make to stock is perfect for standard items where you need them fast. Make to order is for highly custom products where you're willing to wait. And assemble to order hits that sweet spot for configurable items, like a computer or a car. You can see how the lead time, customization, and costs are all just trade-offs. So here's the bottom line. There is no single best strategy, not at all. The right choice is always dictated by the product, the market, and most importantly, what experts call the voice of the customer. The smartest companies are the ones who listen really closely to what we actually want. Do we want it cheap, fast, custom, high quality? Once they know that, they can build their entire system to deliver it.
So here's a little challenge for you. The next time you shop for anything, and I mean anything, just ask yourself this one question. Was this product waiting for me, or was it waiting for my order? Was it just sitting on a shelf, made to stock? Or did your purchase kick off a whole process to build something just for you? The answer to that question tells you everything you need to know about the secret strategy that got that item into your hands.